Guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we've got something a little bit different for you. On live stream we are doing cartoon reactions, and this one is called the top 20 greatest cartoon series of all time. I'll be the judge of that. Let's check it out. Okay, so looking at this first thumbnail, I do not recognize this character. This could be a cartoon I haven't seen before. I'd put it at 20 if I've not seen it. Let's go!
Rick and Morty time!
Never watched it.
All day long, forever. 100 days. Rick and Morty forever, 100 times.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today, we're counting down our picks for the top 20 greatest cartoon series of all time.
Strap in, it's 20
You might
minutes
as well
long.
give up.
I don't know what this is.
For this list, we'll be looking at the absolute best animated programs ever made. We'll be excluding anime since there's enough of that for its own list. But everything else, including franchises and short film series, is fair game. Did we miss any of your favorites? Let us know in the comments. Number 20, Beavis and Butthead.
We're collecting for the...
Why is it number 20? Beavis and Butthead 20? Come on, give you the wobble. The iconic... Yeah. It's iconic. Why is it 20? It should be down at the top, at least top 10. He's stupid. They break everything by accident.
Poor. Help them buy meals and stuff. Meals?
It's no stretch to say this adult comedy exceeded expectations.
Yes.
After all, who expected nuanced political commentary from a show with a character named after a behind? Or that the crass fusion of low comedy and searing analysis would become a rating smash for MTV? And yet,
so
even
good.
decades after its original ending, Beavis and Butthead's dumb-witted legacy has only grown more relevant.
My favourite one is the one where they accidentally burn the house down. I'll drop a tree on the house. I can't remember what it is. They're supposed to be they're doing odd jobs for money, and they smash somebody's house. And there's another one where they've got a fork in the classroom, and he boosh sticks a fork in his eye. Oh, it's classic. It shouldn't be 20.
Audiences clearly agree, having shown up for 2 separate revivals, a pair of feature-length films, and the fantastic spin-off Daria.
Don't worry, it's a psychological test. You're automatically exempt.
Oh, alright.
If history is any indication, Beavis and Butthead will be around for a while, and we're definitely not complaining about that. Number 19, Adventure Time.
I've never watched it.
What time is it? Well, the answer should be obvious. The story of Jake the dog and Finn the human is truly like nothing else, but you probably don't need to hear that from us. Adventure Time's cross-generational appeal has earned it one of the most devoted online fan bases in modern memory.
What kind of cartoon is it? Is it satirical? Is it serious? Is it funny? Is it? Let me know in the comments.
If that's
never
not
watched
a sign of
Adventure
quality,
Time.
we don't know what is.
Once I release the surgical sword, Susan's warrior instincts will kick in and she'll snap back to consciousness. Any questions?
But if that's still not enough, all it takes is one trip to the land of Ooh to understand that this show has
trippy,
an unmatched creative zest. Throw in some downright legendary characters like Marceline, Princess Bubblegum, and the Ice King, and it's clear why the fun never ends with Adventure Time.
Slime Princess, you're alright. Flame Princess, you're okay. Wildberry Princess could be better.
Number 18, BoJack Horseman.
I don't know what this
There's
is
not
either.
many out there shows that can bounce back from a rocky first impression.
And one day, you're going to look around
The
and you're going to
animation
realize
looks
that
like
everybody
Family
loves
Guy
you,
style.
but nobody likes you. And that is the loneliest feeling in the world.
Then again, there aren't any shows like BoJack Horseman, period. And
Well, yeah, because there's a guy there with a horse's head. I wouldn't imagine there was another show where someone's walking around with a horse's head. Looks like a Ren video.
it's not just because it stars a talking horse trying to reignite his acting career. No, even compared to all that, the most important
Got a
factor
chicken
of
head as
its
well.
success is how well it abandons the confines of its own.
You got a chicken head here, and you got a hawk head over there. It's like half the people animals in this. Is that
own
what it
genre.
was?
It's not quite a comedy, and not exactly a drama either.
Right, okay.
Instead, it offers a unique brand of heartbreaking humor that delivers both laughs
Heartbreaking humor.
and tears, often
Really?
within the same episode. Suffice it to say, this is no ordinary cartoon, but that's precisely what makes it utterly unforgettable.
But you say this is like 18 in the charts, and it's sometimes it's funny and sometimes it's you're crying and it's sad, and you've put it above Beavis and Butthead. What the actual? I'm not going to get over that, Beavis and Butthead being 20.
My mom died and all I got was this free churro.
Number 17, Samurai Jack.
I have seen Aku implement these atrocities before, but no more.
Actions speak louder than
Okay.
words. Or, at least that's what creator Genndy Tartakovsky wound up saying through this ambitious animated program. Instead of overly complex plot
Wow.
lines or lengthy dialogue scenes, a lot of Samurai Jack's story is told through fight scenes. And naturally,
okay.
they're really, really good fight scenes. The choreography and storyboarding is at the very top of the industry even by today's standards.
Does look good.
Not just that, the way the show manages to weave a compelling narrative into each action sequence is a masterclass in
It looks like someone's tried to make an anime using like Disney's Hercules style animation. That's what it looks like to me.
visual storytelling. As a result, Samurai Jack isn't just a great animated show, it's great because it's animated.
Gotta get back. Back to the past. Samurai Jack.
Number 16, Teenage
Oh my
Mutant.
god, why is it 16? I'm not having that. That's top tier. That is top tier cartoon. No. I'm not having Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles at 16, and it started off as Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. First. That needs to be top 3.
To the past. Samurai Jack.
Number 16, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Hero.
On principle, page-to-screen adaptations are to be approached with caution.
Heroes in a half shell, turtle power. They're the world's most fearsome fighting team. We're really hip.
But this
I
is the
thought they changed the lyrics. Wasn't it Awesome Fighting Team? I was on the game.
They're the world's most fearsome
Do you know, Blade, you've never watched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Slap yourself.
fighting team. We're really hip.
But this is the rare interpretation that doesn't just do its
Rocksteady
source
and
material
Bebop.
justice, it arguably improves it. Most of the franchise's most iconic elements are original to this
Wow.
animated series.
This is brilliant.
We're talking about the Ninja Turtles' pizza obsession, their colorful identifying masks, and even their
Shredder.
go-to sayings.
Turtle power.
The cartoon's impact
16.
on the future of the brand can't be understated. But, of course, none of that would have happened if the show itself had lacked turtle power. Thankfully, the incredible action and
was
pitch-perfect
great.
comedic timing ensured it was much faster paced than its namesake reptiles. By the time it adapted the comic's darker tone, Leonardo, Donatello, Raphael, and Michelangelo were already cultural icons.
Brilliant.
Number 15.
I'm not having it. I'm not fucking doing this. How is Family Guy not number 1? How the fuck is fucking Family Guy not number 1? How? Shredder, just a bit of trivia for you, from Turtles, was actually voiced by James Avery, who played Uncle Phil in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Michelangelo were already cultural icons. Number 15. Family Guy.
I'm upset.
As early as its first episode, Family Guy faced some blowback for its lewd and vulgar brand of comedy.
That's what we love. We love the edginess. We love it being close to the knuckle. We like it being funny. We like it being bloody. We like it when Peter slaps Meg because it's funny.
Family Guy faced some blowback for its lewd and vulgar brand of comedy.
Oh, the lost my job smells great.
What?
Meg, honey, can you pass the fired my ass for negligence?
Of course, over 20 years later, that humor has pretty much become its calling card. The Griffin family and their friends embrace the scandalous and taboo unlike anything else, and that's given the show a nearly unprecedented legacy in comedy and pop culture overall.
Something
Fervent fan
dark side
support
that was
even saved it following its premature cancellation.
Blue Harvest.
And if the Griffins can come back to life after getting the axe, what can't they handle? Look, Family Guy may not always reflect those good old-fashioned values, but
brilliant.
it sure is funny. And quite frankly, that's all it needs to be.
With no one to look after, Carstairs fell into a deep depression from which he never emerged. He died 2 weeks later. Some say of a broken heart.
What, sir?
But that was Carstairs.
Number 14.
See, Family Guy is amazing. Family Guy is amazing. I'm not having it. It should be higher than 15.
Some say of a broken heart.
What, sir?
But that was Carstairs.
Number 14. Tom and Jerry franchise. It's not...
I can't. This should be top tier as well. It's Tom and Jerry. Tom and Jerry is freaking amazing. That needs to be in the top 10, not in the top 14. Watch Mojo. I am not impressed with you.
Carstairs.
Number 14. Tom and Jerry franchise.
Amazing.
It's not easy to stay relevant and entertaining throughout numerous decades.
Fantastic. Jerry's always having Tom
Yet
off.
despite the changing times, everything from the Tom and Jerry universe continues to be breezy, charming, and downright hilarious viewing. There's no need to catch viewers with a mousetrap,
No, don't
since
do it
the
like that.
franchise repeatedly finds ways to innovate on its formula without abandoning it either. Indeed, even though the title characters seldom talk, their rivalry says a lot about the tropes and
Go
gags
on.
that define animation. Oh, and don't even get us started on its impeccable use of music to accentuate each and every
Fantastic,
punchline.
classic humor.
At this point,
I mean, every single week, Tom would get flattened by something and turn into a concertina and be bouncing left and right. Or his teeth would get broken and smashed and he'd all fall out. You know what I mean? And then 2 seconds later, he's got them all again. It was just classic humor, and it shouldn't be on 14.
here's hoping Tom doesn't catch Jerry anytime soon. Number 13. DuckTales.
Yeah, it's about right.
Apparently, starring in iconic animated properties runs in the family. So, when pushed from the nest, Huey, Dewey, and Louie didn't just spread their wings, they positively soared alongside Scrooge. Now, the studio had never really crafted a syndicated animated show before DuckTales, and they spent a lot of money on production, so the pressure was on. But Donald Duck's nephews and uncle proved worthy of the effort, cracking out tight,
it was
visually
good.
stunning stories filled with an unparalleled sense of adventure. In fact, their flight was so popular
Louie, and
that
Dewey.
it led to more top-notch syndicated cartoons. That means DuckTales isn't just an underappreciated gem. It's pretty much the mother goose of modern Disney cartoons.
Yeah, but if somebody says to you, we've got 2 tellies here, one's got Tom and Jerry on it, and one's got DuckTales on it, where are you headed? You're headed to Tom and Jerry. You're headed to Tom and Jerry every single fucking time. So this should not be ahead.
Scrooge! You're safe!
I knew this underwater gear would come in handy.
Number 12. Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
It's a pity I wasn't there in person, my old master.
A pity, indeed.
my fallen apprentice.
At a time when the galaxy far, far away really wasn't all that distant in our memory,
My son watched,
Cartoon
he
Network
watched some of
delivered a
these.
series that made revisiting the
I never
franchise
watched
feel
them.
like a no-brainer. It's downright impressive for
Yes, it
anything
is.
to replicate the wondrous spirit of Star Wars, let alone within the confines of a half-hour animated program. But
It looks, the way it's done with the animation, it looks like the Attack of the Clones film. You know what I mean? As opposed to a cartoon. And this is going to be quite serious, isn't it, compared to the other stuff? When you think of cartoon, you think of funny, don't you? You know what I mean?
Star Wars,
I suppose
let
it's,
alone
it'd say
within the confines of
cartoon
a
comedy if it
half-hour
was going to be just
animated
comedy.
program.
So.
But the Clone Wars somehow does it, all the while introducing new ideas, intricate storylines, and of course, Ahsoka Tano. The fact that there was enough fan demand for a wrap-up season to be released 6 years after the show initially ended speaks for itself. After all, even compared to its blockbuster cousins,
Serious.
the Clone Wars represents Star Wars at its absolute best, and it's hard to get better than that.
I'll report back.
I still have
whatever I
watched the
find
original
out.
film.
Number 11, X-Men.
X-Men the animated series, okay.
Do you also believe this?
I'll put my hands up now. I am not an X-Men fan at all. Even the films, even this, that, and the other. Anything to do with the X-Men, it wasn't my go-to franchise. I like the other stuff, like the Spider-Man, the Hulk, you know what I mean, Iron Man and stuff like that. X-Men to me is like, oh, it's like, wait, I've got a cinema card for the cinema. And when an X-Men movie come out, it's like, we're going to watch the X-Men. You go, oh, okay, I'll watch it because it's out. You know what I mean? If there's something else on, if Iron Man was on at the same time, it'd be straight into the Iron Man screen. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say.
Do now. I have seen your face 1,000 times in my mind.
The X gene aside, tackling social issues is just as much a part of mutant DNA as their powers. So it's admirable that this show didn't just acknowledge the X-Men's political themes in the 90s, it fully embraced them. As a result, it maintained its source material's distinct identity even in its original storylines.
So it was
better yet,
pretty much
the mutants
serious.
weren't the only ones evolving. The entire industry was doing the same. Through some standout arcs, like the 5-part Phoenix Saga, X-Men proved that animation could shoulder more ambitious plot lines. The series has since been hailed as a breakthrough for serialized storytelling in the medium, and its bold approach still holds up today. You could almost call it, well, superhuman.
So beautiful, yet so strong.
Give me the Avengers any
I
day.
always did think I was kind of cute. Nice of you to mention it.
Number 10, Scooby-Doo, Where Are You?
I think you better split up. Daphne and I'll go this way.
We love Scooby-Doo.
Way. You two go that way.
The mystery of this show's success is pretty easy to...
The mystery of every single mystery is the ghost is the janitor. And they pull his head off. And he stops glowing for some reason. He's glowing like a ghost. And then they pull his hat off, or his head off, his mask. And suddenly, he's the janitor. It's just funny.
Solved. No meddling kids or splitting up necessary. It would appear that the real culprits were, in fact, Fred.
Everyone in the chat saying it deserves higher than 10, and it does. So, watch Mojo. You better have some good stuff after this.
Velma,
It's top 10.
Shaggy, Daphne, and Scooby all along.
Jinkies.
And boy, are we thankful for them. Their cheesy but charming banter is a Scooby snack that never gets stale, especially when paired with a gothic aesthetic and memorable catchphrases. While the 2010 series Mystery Incorporated found great success with its serialized style, there's something undeniably cozy about the classic,
older stuff.
original Scooby formula. After all, it takes a special kind of program to kickstart a franchise that's still solving crimes over half a century later. Clearly.
The funny thing about Scooby-Doo is, though, when Shaggy and Scooby are running, it's always the same animation, right? And when they're running, they seem to be on the corridor that's like 3 miles long, and the same lamp keeps going past them, and the same door. It's just it's brilliant. It's the way it
The
should be.
question of the show's enduring legacy is an open and shut case.
Would you squeeze in for a Scooby snack?
Of course. He will. Yeah.
Number 9, Arthur. Ironically,
How's that
this
above
educational
Scooby-Doo?
kids program also doubles as a class about incorporating life lessons into storytelling.
I didn't like this.
At the end of the day, Arthur is about learning. but it's never heavy-handed in its approach.
Not for me,
even
this
when
one.
it's tackling delicate social issues. Plus, it has a lovable cast of characters
No, it
and a
hasn't.
completely iconic theme song
No.
on its side.
And I say, hey, what a wonderful kind of day.
On brand recognition alone, it totally deserves a spot in the Children's Show Hall of Fame. But perhaps its greatest accomplishment is that it ended in a way that felt right. For a cartoon all...
Yes, by taking it off air. Seriously, this cartoon was shit. They better have, in this countdown, they better have He-Man and they better have Inspector fucking Gadget. I'm telling you.
about growing up, its characters did just that with its series finale in 2022. It was the perfect cherry on top of an already iconic run.
Chapter
No,
1.
we could push that to one side.
How I got my very first pair of glasses.
Number 8, Rick and Morty.
I've never watched this.
You gotta, come on. You gotta come with
What,
me.
Rick? What's going on?
I got a
It's-
surprise for
it's
you,
the middle
Morty.
of the night. What are you talking
Come on,
about?
I got a surprise for you. Come on, hurry up.
These two oddballs' interdimensional adventures have propelled
don't
them
even know what
all
it's
the
about.
way to the top of the pop culture zeitgeist. That's thanks in no small part to the infinite number of places the series can go, which isn't hyperbole. The multiversal plot devices means each episode is crazier, funnier, and most importantly, different from what came before.
So the
There's been
edgy-
very few shows
edgy
in
time
all
travelers.
of television that boast as much inventive wit as Rick and Morty does on a regular basis. Of course, it helps that there's a thick layer of crude humor on top too. Rick and Morty can explore as many universes as they want, but if you ask us, nothing will match the success they found in this one.
And do you know what I'm going to do after I've watched this video for the reaction? I'm going to do my own. I'm going to make my own top 20 cartoons, and I bet you that you lot will agree with me more than Watch Mojo.
Something that's never happened before. I'm a pickle. I'm Pickle Rick.
Number 7, The Flintstones.
Yeah, okay.
Their show may
Flintstones
be
is
set
cool.
in the Stone Age, but there is nothing prehistoric about
Barney's
this
the
family.
best.
Oh, Chris,
Yeah, what is it, Wilma?
this ball they gave me is no good. It's full of holes.
Full of holes. Those holes are supposed to be in it. You put your fingers in them, you.
I mean, that basically is taking is being anti-feminine, whatever, about against women. Basically saying that women's thick, that a bowling ball's got holes in it. Why has it got holes in it? And he comes up, you stupid woman. He may as well have said that.
Full of holes. Those holes are supposed to be in it. You
Captain Caveman better be in this list as well.
put your fingers in them, you numbskull.
Sure, the standard sitcom setup is as classic as it comes, but The Flintstones endures because of its simplicity, not in spite of it. The hominess each and every episode evokes is warm, charming, and completely timeless. However,
brilliant.
Don't mistake this straightforward approach for a lack of ambition.
It's Dino.
On the contrary, The Flintstones drew a lot of attention for its fearless portrayal of a modern family. Fred and Wilma sharing a bed may not seem like a big deal now, but it was something to behold in the 60s. Oh,
Imagine.
and they did all of this while being the first cartoon on primetime TV. Yabba dabba doo, indeed.
When you think of the Flintstones, you always think of the music at the beginning and the intro, and the fact that he goes to the drive-thru and gets a big massive steak on the side of his car, and the car tips over, and then Fred gets thrown out of his house by the dinosaur. He throws a dinosaur out. Dinosaur jumps through the window, or the cat, or whatever it is, grabs him, throws him out, shuts the door, and he can't get. He's like, Wilbur!
On primetime TV. Yabba dabba doo, indeed.
And they want to take over the whole world.
Number 6, SpongeBob SquarePants.
Respectable.
Something in the secret
Respectable.
Krabby Patty formula has kept this show's recipe fresh, though it's more likely we have the titular yellow fry cook to thank. Frankly, any program that can last this long in the ever-changing entertainment landscape is worthy of praise. But SpongeBob SquarePants has not only found a way to stay relevant, it's also practically defined a generation's sense of humor.
Good.
The amount of epic quips and
Patrick is
gut-busting memes
amazing.
SpongeBob and the rest of the Bikini Bottom gang are responsible for is nearly unparalleled. All signs point to Weast, so we're betting that the trend continues. After all, the series has already spawned movies, spin-offs, a musical, and more, with no signs of stopping. SpongeBob isn't just staying afloat, it's riding the waves.
Do instruments of torture count?
No.
Is mayonnaise an instrument?
No, Patrick. Mayonnaise is
Patrick's
not an
amazing.
instrument. Horseradish is not an instrument either.
Number 5.
Yay, South Park! Well, I'm saying yay, South Park. The first probably 5 or 6 seasons, brilliant. I think they started running out of ideas then. Going back to SpongeBob, I've never sat there and meticulously watched all the SpongeBobs or anything like that. I've watched it when Toby's been watching it, and the ones that I have watched I thought was brilliant.
Horseradish is not an instrument either.
Number 5. South Park. This cartoon has been funny more times
show is
and
all
in
about
more
Eric
ways
Cartman.
than Kenny has died. For those keeping track, that's a lot. The main and recurring characters make the titular place feel like a real, breathing town. Granted, it's one with a lot of bad language and a questionable respect for the law. As a matter of fact, the show's penchant for controversy has landed it in hot water more than once, and it was even banned in China.
Which one of you decided to go and start bad-mouthing the Chinese government?
Of course.
Have they made an episode about being banned in China then?
Decided to go and start bad-mouthing the Chinese.
I think that's a shout out because they've got all characters from Disney, the Avengers, etc. Maybe that's just a shout out to like the ones that they can use. Either that or these are all the people who's complained about them, maybe.
Of course, this being South Park, it often wears its scandals as
They
badges
go in on
of
priests,
honor.
don't they?
And really, that's the perfect encapsulation of why it works so well. Yes, it's loud, obnoxious, and the crudest of the crude, but it never once apologizes for it.
No.
God damn it, I'll never try to be nice again. Well, all in all, I have to say this was a pretty special Christmas.
Number 4, Looney Tunes franchise. It's only fitting that the
whole
golden age
franchise.
of American animation delivered the undisputed gold standard of comedy.
Iconic Looney Tunes sound.
Near the start of the genre's revolution, these tunes discovered that talking animals and cartoon hijinks formed a winning combination. Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, and the others have practically defined the genre as we know it, while stumbling upon a few iconic catchphrases along the way.
I'll put up with it being fourth. I will put up with it being fourth. I think some of the cartoons from earlier on should have been above this, and the rest of the ones that followed. But I mean, Looney Tunes is brilliant.
Indeed, their influence on modern animation is undeniable. Just think of the
Jurassic
countless
Park.
amazing shows like Animaniacs that have taken cues from Looney Tunes. As if that wasn't enough, Bugs even has his own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Does he?
Clearly, this franchise won't be saying, "That's all, folks," anytime soon.
See, now you want Porky Pig there going, but that's all, folks.
Number 3, Avatar: The Last Airbender. Long ago, we watched TV in dull, generic harmony. Then, everything changed when Avatar debuted.
No.
It had all of the bright action sequences and chuckle-worthy gags you'd expect.
My cabbages! You're gonna pay for this!
2 cabbages, please.
But it also featured a dense world, an ambitious narrative, and
Not
took
for
a
me,
rare,
this one.
sophisticated approach
Not
to
for
its
me.
weighty themes. With all that, the Avatar didn't need water, earth, fire, or air to become one of the all-time cartoon greats. Although with production values this slick, they definitely didn't hurt. The show is easily one of the most beloved properties of the 21st century, and that's almost entirely because of how much consideration and thought went into making it. Avatar: The Last Airbender wasn't just given the respect it needed, it was given the respect it deserved.
Do you really?
Is this like by popular demand that he's made this list, or is this the list that Watch Mojo likes himself? Because I have no idea why some of the cartoons are in the teens, and this one that shouldn't even be in the list.
Really
Is like
think friendships can last more than one lifetime? I don't see why not.
Number 2, Batman
What?
the Animated Series.
I like Batman. Don't get me wrong. I like Batman and stuff, but no, I'm not having Batman the Animated Series above. No, I'd have put this in like 10 or 11.
Crusader has always been defined by his gritty storylines and mature themes, both things that weren't exactly expected of a kid-friendly cartoon.
Is that right?
I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman.
Yet, the animated series' willingness to explore Batman's true nature is precisely why its legacy lives on to this day. If anything, its cast list alone is proof of its staying power.
It is good.
Kevin Conroy
Well, I've
and
seen
Mark
of him. I've
Hamill
seen them all,
delivered
but-
epic performances as Batman and Joker respectively, and would go on to voice the characters for decades.
Wow.
Jingle bells, Batman smelt, Robin laid an egg. The Batmobile lost the wheel, and the Joker got away.
It's clear that, even years later, modern comic book stories are still indebted to what Batman...
I'm scared. I'm scared about what's going to be number 1.
And the animated series accomplished. This is far from being the titular hero's only adventure on the small screen, but there's no denying it's his best.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about...
Well, if you get the order of cartoons right, yeah, I will subscribe.
our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, The Simpsons. One could say there are 3 constants in life: death, taxes, and The Simpsons.
Simpsons is really good, actually.
I'm just a big kid, and I love Christmas so much.
No! That's no exaggeration. It's literally the longest-running American animated program.
And it's
it
brilliant.
holds the same record for American sitcoms and for American scripted primetime shows. Still, its biggest achievement might be that Homer's go-to expression,
Homer Simpson.
"Yo," was added to the Oxford English Dictionary.
Really?
Talk about a resume. It's safe to say that almost every modern adult animated program owes their existence to The Simpsons.
Well, it's the
also
same
great
makers, isn't it?
Futurama even pokes fun at the connection. It's all a testament to how fun it is watching the Simpson family navigate life in Springfield alongside friends and foes. By now, the hilarious, satirical series is essentially a cultural touchstone, one that will probably outlive us all.
I knew you could do it. Now don't
Homer is
screw it
so
up.
thick.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from Watch Mojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.
Where's He-Man? Where's Inspector Gadget? Where's Thundercats? Where's the Fantastic Four? What else was there? There was loads and loads and loads of cartoons that was higher than stuff like... Roadrunner's not even in there. Mind you, Looney Tunes franchise, I suppose. But, I mean, the others... I mean... Where was all these classic cartoons? I mean, there was some decent stuff in the list. Some of it I'd never heard before. Or seen before. But, I mean... Some of the chart positions on some of these cartoons was like, no, don't think so. Don't even think so. No, don't even get me started. Well, Simpsons at number 1, I'll have that. That's a respectable one. I did like South Park as well, and I like Family Guy, which should have been way higher up the list. But yeah, it was interesting to see someone else's take on the best cartoons ever. There's one that says the top 10 worst cartoon shows ever. Maybe that's something we can explore as well at some point. Anyway, if you like my videos, then please hit like and subscribe, and I shall see you all in the next video.